Oh man, so I gotta tell y'all something. I've had this picture in my head, I guess, for years. I've always wanted to get pictures when it's kind of foggy, like this, in the fall when the leaves are turning, with just like one runner in as the focus of the image. Look, perfect. We got a runner coming through right now. Good morning. It's 7:30 on Monday. I just did 10K with some folks. It's super like foggy outside. It looks really cool. It's very Halloween-y. Easy 6. Did a little bit of harder stuff at the end just to see how it felt. That seems to be what I want to do this week to try to get a handle on half marathon power. My shin leg area wasn't feeling nearly as bad after doing a lot of work last night on prehab. And so I'm going to keep that up. I'm going to try to do some really extensive stuff every day this week. Try to get it feeling better. Good morning. We pushed the run to 7 today, which is good because it means I get to sleep in more. We're about to go out and do 9 miles, a little lake loop, medium longish run for a smaller week. And it's like 48 degrees outside, so we've officially entered the realm of Dallas winter. We'll see if I need my gloves or my hat, but I've got them today, so let's do it. So I just got done at the gym doing about 5 miles. I had a massage earlier today. I'm definitely still dealing with some weird stuff on the inside of my shin. It's moving sort of towards the middle of my shin now. This may be it until the race. I guess it's Wednesday. No, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. I was thinking about doing like a 2-mile, 3-mile shakeout or something on Saturday. We'll see. It kind of depends on how my leg feels. I could wake up tomorrow and it feels great, but I just don't want to take any chances this close to the race. It's not like debilitating. It's just something to keep an eye on that I'd prefer to get rid of as soon as possible. So that's Thursday. I'm pretty sure it's Thursday. I'm like 90% sure it's actually Thursday today. We'll see. I'm currently procrastinating my last shakeout run before the half marathon. I'm having trouble deciding between like 3 different singlets. I know like approximately which shorts I'm gonna wear. The Tracksmith Twilight shorts are my absolute favorite to race in, but I've got 3 different options for the singlet and then the arm warmers because it's gonna be hopefully in like the 40s. So my options are the club singlet for the internet group that I kind of run with, the Reddit group, ARTC. I've got a super thin, like white one that's kind of a little bit big and it's very thin. I'm not sure that that's going to be great for the super cold weather for Texas. So that's sort of what's dissuading me from that one, but I like the design. The other one for that Reddit running club is a Tracksmith Crimson Van Cortlandt tank, or I guess it's a singlet. It's this same color, but no sleeves. That one I sewed a little ARTC patch onto it. It's actually what I wore when I PR'd my half in 2016. So I definitely think like that's definitely in the running, and I have a real affection for that singlet. I usually leave it hanging up on the metal rack that I have, just to sort of remind me of what's out there. The final option is the club singlet for the people I've been running with over the last, well, I guess at this point it's been months, last couple of months. That one is a New Balance singlet. I've only run in it once. I haven't really and I certainly haven't raced in it. So I'm not exactly sure. I didn't dislike it when I ran in it, but it was in drastically different weather. So those are the options. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna go with. I'm definitely leaning towards the singlet that looks like this one with the ARTC patch. I think this is all the procrastinating I can do. I'm gonna go out to the track and jog. I guess y'all will get to see my weird janky track that's 400 yards, not 400 meters long. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that out of the way, and then that's it. Just sort of relax and get ready for tomorrow. Just generally take it easy, chill, try not to freak out. All right, I'll see y'all out at the track. I did kilometer warm up. I'm gonna do 4 to 6 strides, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do 800 at race power, 400, I guess, steady, and then another 800 at race power, and then just cool down. So. I am not good at figuring out what power I'm running at. I definitely need to look up how to do the stride power race, because I'm gonna need that tomorrow. All right, so it is Sunday afternoon, about 4 o'clock, and I did my race this morning, the half marathon. My goal was 150. I'm pleased that I did a little bit better than that. I learned pretty early on that these pacers were going to try to bank time. That was what they were doing. That's not my preferred strategy, largely because I was trying to go by power, not pace. So I'm sitting there, I've got my watch, and I'm reading like 190 watts for the first kilometer. I'm like, oh, okay, well. So what I decided from there was to go ahead and hang on with the 150 group. I didn't need to be up by the pacers. I didn't need to be right up front, which is usually where I do like to be. But this time I just decided I'm gonna just sort of let it go. I know what is too much power for me, so I'll definitely let them go up the hills, because they didn't back off that much on the hills, or maybe they did and I just needed to back off further. I don't really know. But I definitely fell off of them at the hills. The steeper downhills, I definitely made time up. There was one really steep one, like right at halfway, that I nearly bombed past the pacers coming down, because it's a long gradual-ish uphill and then like a whew kind of downhill. So that was kind of fun. And then as soon as we came back around, it was another uphill. So it was like the worst roller coaster in the world. That was basically my strategy. I wanted to try to keep the 150 group near me for the first however long it felt like that was the right thing to do. And then when there came some hills, I'd let them go and I'd make it up eventually. I was doubting the stride a little bit. I think that's one of those things where you kind of have to prove your fitness to the device every once in a while, and they say it a lot. Even with the Auto CP, if you are not throwing in those harder workouts, there's no way it's going to know what your top level is. There's no way for it to know what your threshold level is if you're only doing easy paces. That's a lot of what I've been doing for the last month. So I was taking that recommendation with a grain of salt, knowing that there was a decent chance that I would be able to push further than that for the whole race. And that's sort of what I sort of tucked in and decided to do. So they were going about 190. That's pretty much what a lot of my splits were averaging. At 10 miles, one of the two pacers was like, all right, y'all have been sticking around now, but I know you can go faster, so we want you to leave the nest and we don't want to see you again. I was definitely feeling pretty good at that point. I didn't feel like I had started pushing into that rapid breathing, just stressful part of the race yet. I wasn't going too much faster than them for the first couple of miles. Part of the reason that I wanted to be a little cautious is A, this isn't a goal race. B, last time I pushed at the very edge, at the end of the race, pushed till the very edge, I ended up with a really bad IT band injury that ended that season and sort of began my 3 years of injuries. So I wasn't in any real, need to go ahead and really push the pace on there. So I did what I felt like was reasonable. I think I probably ended up with a 95 to 98% effort. There was no reason to go for broke. That's not to make excuses or anything. It's just that was sort of what I decided the priority was. I wanted to see approximately how fit I was, and if maybe I could have run 15 seconds faster. In the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't matter for a race that's 11 weeks away. Saw one of my old coworkers, which was really cool, and she had run like a 1:33, so that's fantastic. Had a couple of sections where I saw people from the White Rock Running Co-op. That was really awesome. It was something to look forward to. I knew there was going to be people around mile 8, right before you get to like the really steep spillway hill. That hill has definitely broken me in the past, and I was pleased that it wasn't, it certainly wasn't a comfortable experience, but it wasn't the way I had experienced it before, where it was just a slog up the whole way. It meant a lot to have people out on the course. It was really cool to see familiar faces. My mom and my husband were at the finish line for me. Legs were kind of stiff getting up. It's going to be definitely a rough week next week, but I'm really excited about what's to come. I was telling my mom and Ben that this is the first time, I think ever, that this race hasn't marked the end of my racing season. It's never been the beginning of my racing season. For a couple of races, it was my goal race. After that, the first year, I just stopped running because running was terrible, and who would want to keep doing that? The second year, that was the IT band injury. The third year, I ran it, but I wasn't really trained for it because I'd had an injury earlier. Last year, had an injury directly before it, but was still in pretty good shape for it. This year, I feel good. I feel fine. This isn't a goal race, but it was a race that I needed to do. It's really weird to know that there's still a lot of work to be done before I get to the end of my fall season. And it feels really good to be able to say that. I'm really looking forward to the next 11 weeks, sort of finding out what I can do, and really going through that first full marathon cycle. That's week 3 of the vlog, week 1 of the training plan. Like, subscribe, share, all of that, and I will see you with another video next week.